Hey everyone. So the child that I observed for this activity is a student that is in my class, in my threes class. So the environment was in the classroom. I was sitting right next to him during observing him. And so as soon as he came into the class, he sat at the table where we had Play-Doh and letter cutouts. So what I observed was that he was very calm, and in times of happiness, his voice would get a little bit louder. So in the beginning, he started off by saying, "I'm going to use X," and I realized that one of our other students was using the letter X. So I said, "Oh, what can you say to your friend so that you can use the letter X?" And so he asked his friend, "Can I use the X?" His friend said he was still using it, so he just kind of continued to play. But eventually the other child just got up and left. So then I noticed that it was like maybe a few seconds later, and he remembered that he wanted the X. So he went to grab it, and then he started saying X, 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 and he said it many times. And then I noticed that he would say like, he would make like sounds. So he was saying woo, and that was part of his play. It seemed like he was very excited because of the X. He was using two fingers to take out the X from the Play-Doh, and then he grabbed a little bit of the Play-Doh that was at other parts of the table, and he piled it onto the other Play-Doh that he had with the letters in it. And then he took the letter F and he started to press down the F into the pile of Play-Doh that was in front of him. And he says, "Look what I made. This is for a friend." And then he said, "Look at the O." And then he grabbed the O. So it seemed like he was very excited that he was discovering and finding letters. So then he calmly got up and transitioned into another area of our classroom, which was the dramatic play area with our kitchen that we have in it. And then he walked over to a little bit to the top of our loft that we have, and he found some pasta, some felt pasta, and he was sweeping it up into a dustpan. And then he told me, "I'm gonna get some more for this." So I said, "Oh, you're gonna get more pasta?" He said yes. And so I observed him a little bit more while he was going to the kitchen. And then I noticed that he was just kind of standing around looking at the other kids and observing what they were doing. But it didn't seem like he was, I guess, remembering that he was going there to get the pasta that he wanted to bring up. So the way that the play observation ended was that he just stayed in that area, and he never brought pasta back up to where we were. So I just noticed that he was very calm, except for when he would get excited in discovering something. And he was okay with socializing with me. He noticed that I was around him. And then in reference to our text, observing and recording the behavior of young children, on page 27, Cohen talks about details to observe. So that's when I mentioned that he didn't get up like too abruptly. He got up and slowly transitioned into the kitchen while looking around and seeing what he wanted to play with at the moment. And then another thing that stood out to me was the materials and using the materials for a long period of time. So I noticed that he didn't just touch some of the Play-Doh or the letters and then just walk away. He took his time and kind of seemed like he was reflecting and enjoying and experiencing what he was playing with. And that's on page 39, where it talks about length of time with materials. And in the previous information that I mentioned, that was on page 27 in details to observe. So overall, I think that the observation went pretty well. And it was nice to see the transition and keep in mind some information from our text. So bye, thank you.